comparison with you and Nas, man. Everybody was talking about it. Now, why out of everybody you pick Nas, bro?
I didn't do it.
They asked him.
No.
They asked him a question.
You like the new song?
No.
You don't like Ace Trumpets?
What's so great about it?
It's so good.
Dog, you're not in my top 50. You might be in Charlemagne's top 50 and things like that, but you haven't done that much for me in my life. Like, I didn't never want to be like Pusha. I never had a Pusha moment in my life.
Jim Jones messed with the wrong names, big names, Nas, Pusha T, straight legends, and he disrespected both of them, back to back, like he had nothing to lose. Now his whole rap career, it's barely hanging on. That's all it took to flip the culture against him. Jim said Nas wasn't really that impactful. He called Pusha T overrated. Then he claimed he's the reason Nas went viral again. And that?
Yeah, Jimmy boy, you should have never brought this up. Y'all are only 3 years apart, and Nas is just like murdering you. You asked us to look up the stats, and here they are. Like Jim Jones, like you got a couple songs. I mean, like literally, it's a couple. But we're talking about Nas. Let me show y'all Nas's last projects. Nas been getting it in since 2018. Jimmy, when the last time you put out an album? Oh, would you look at that? You have been dropping music. You've really been dropping music. But nobody's heard it. Nobody's listening, bro.
That's when people started saying, Jim just crossed a line he might not come back from. Because what followed didn't feel like some regular rap beef. It felt way deeper, like something bigger was already brewing. Now the real question is, was this just a wild ego move gone too far? Or is the culture slowly pushing Jim out from the same game he helped build? That quote, still echoing everywhere. His summer jam set, cut short. And Pusha T, he's not staying quiet. So let's hit rewind and break down what really kicked off this slow motion fallout. That one quote? It didn't just throw shade, it tried to erase. Jim didn't just critique Nas's recent music. He brushed off the entire legacy of one of hip-hop's most respected icons. And he didn't even drop it on some serious interview platform. He said it on the Joe and Jada podcast, a show known for light jokes and chill convos, not career-ending takes.
What I did for Nas
Basically said Nas never mattered that much to the culture, and that his own Billboard stats could match or even top Nas. For real. Let's be real clear, Nas isn't just some rapper, he's a foundation in hip-hop. Illmatic gets studied in college classes. Ether still keeps seasoned vets up at night. And King's disease showed the man still leveling up. Meanwhile, Jim's out here talking like he just dropped the Chronic or something. But this wasn't even about bars, it was pure ego. It wasn't an opinion. It was insecurity dressed up like confidence. And bringing his kid into it? Like, what kind of message is that even sending?
I'm way more influential than Nas, and I don't care what nobody say. I know I made a little boo-boo when you talk about the sales and all this type of shit. I don't feel like getting into that rhetoric about where I started and where he started.
Well, you said that
but listen, Nas was nice when I was in high school. When I was in 10th grade, Nas came out. Nas was dope. We appreciated him. He had a little bit run. But Nas always came up second to Jay and DMX and all these other people. Like,
Ain't no shame in that. There a lot of folks came up second to Tom Brady.
He never had that type of influence on us, except for his first album.
The internet wasted zero time. Folks pulled out receipts, side-by-side stats, award after award, sold-out concerts, legendary albums stacked up against Jim's numbers. Meanwhile, Jim's chart history, it just didn't compare. All this mess started because he wanted to rewrite hip-hop history with a take nobody asked for. Now, usually when someone gets cooked online for going at a legend, they either walk it back or at least calm down. But not Jim. Nope, he doubled. No, tripled down. He went on Nightcap, stared Shannon Sharpe dead in the face, and said it again like it was gospel. Nas never had the influence! Pause. Second to who? Jay-Z and DMX? Come on, these three were never in the same lane. Nas was deep, spiritual, poetic, raw reflection. Jay was the corporate mastermind, all about hustle and strategy. And DMX? He was chaos and pain in human form. Comparing them is like putting Kendrick and Future in the same box. Completely different energies, different goals, different impacts. So to say Nas never led the pack? That's not just wrong, it's rewriting history. And here's the twist. Jim doesn't even act like he hated Nas growing up.
The future is not something you wait for, it's something you build. It lives in the hands of the doers, the dreamers, the people who refuse to stand still. Resorts World is more than a casino. It's energy, it's opportunity, it's hope for the borough. A second chance for some, a first step for many. It's where community gathers, not just to win, but to build a future once imagined. This isn't just business, this is legacy. And now, it's time to invest in us.
I admired Nas, but remember Nas' first record, The Barbecue, came out when I was in 11th grade. So Nas was my idol when I was young. Like you did, came to dressing, the wordplay, the music, everything. I was a superior Nas fan, period. I'd never take that away from him, but then as I got in the game, you gotta realize that your rivals would be idols, and not to take anything away from that, I developed my own style and my own lane that these kids start to gravitate towards the same way I gravitated towards Nas when I was younger and things like that. It's a whole different generation.
He admits he looked up to him. Said he used to dress like Nas as a teen. That's where the delusion creeps in. Because now it's not about chart stats or personal takes. Jim sounds like he needs Nas to be beneath him, and he's frustrated that the facts don't line up. This wasn't about who's the best, it was about trying to elevate himself into a space he's never really been in. Jim wanted to force his name into GOAT talks, but instead he just exposed how bad it eats at him that he's not in those conversations. And if you thought he was about to chill, nope. On Bag Fuel, Jim hit us with the wildest claim yet. He didn't just say Nas wasn't relevant, he didn't just call him second best. He really said he brought Nas back to viral life. Jim really acted like the whole culture owed him a thank you just for reminding us Nas still existed. Like, seriously? The internet wasn't having it. One fan clapped back saying, "The reason you're being talked about is because you're making stupid comments about Nas, and that's the only reason people are interviewing you, just for the clicks." And it didn't stop there. Another wrote, "The amount of delusional disrespect from Jim Jones toward Nas is getting out of hand. I'm sick of it. You don't earn any stripes saying stuff like this." And the numbers? Still not in Jim's favor. Nas has been working. 3 albums in 5 years, a Grammy win, and back-to-back sold-out shows. Meanwhile, Jim's been podcasting. He thought he was starting some kind of trend. What he really did? He kicked off his own funeral march in hip-hop. Now let's rewind to 2024. Paris, the Louis Vuitton spring/summer show. The scene? Star-studded. Beyonce, Jay-Z, Rihanna, LeBron. Every big name in music, fashion, and culture is in the building. Cameras flashing everywhere. Pharrell's stepping out with his first collection as Louis Vuitton men's creative director. It's already history. Then out of nowhere, the beat drops. But this ain't just some fashion show track. It's Clipse.
But he knows
My son can't tell you one Nas record. You heard? Like, let's keep it a buck.
We went viral on the Spotify Rap Caviar podcast.
Yes.
About
Man,
Pusha T.
People don't like people, yeah. See, there we go. And then look what happens. But I'm ready for all things, man. Shouts to Pusha, shouts to that guy, shouts to the Clipse. You know what I mean? Congratulations.
Do you like the new song?
No, but you know.
You don't like Ace Trumpets?
What's so great about it?
It's so good.
It's good.
It's so, oh man.
It's good.
So yeah, there's something going on that you ain't telling us about,
it's
bro.
It's good in what? In the style.
For the first time in over a decade, Pusha T and his brother No Malice hit the stage with a brand new track. And the lyrics? Oh, they came locked and loaded. Even Jay-Z was vibing to it. And that wasn't just a track drop, that was a declaration of war. Right in the middle of the season's most high-profile event, the message couldn't have been louder. And the lyrics? They said everything. Everybody knew exactly who Pusha T was aiming at. That chasing a feature out of your element line? Direct hit at Jim for cozying up to Drake after being crowned an honorary Dipset member on that Harlem stage. And let's not forget, this is the same Drake that Pusha destroyed in The Story of Adidon, a diss so brutal Drake still hasn't fully bounced back. But this wasn't some SoundCloud response or a random bar. This was strategy. Pusha T turned Paris Fashion Week into a war zone, and Jim never even saw it coming. That's next level thinking. Now, while Jim was on Breakfast Club, Rap Caviar, and Drink Champs dragging Pusha's name through the mud, calling him not even top 50, Pusha didn't say a word back in those spaces. Instead, he brought billionaires, luxury brands, and hip-hop royalty to witness his revenge firsthand. And the layers? Insane. It wasn't just about the bars, it was the setting.
Can you sing along the 5 Pusha T records right now? His records.
Yes.
His records?
Yeah.
Name
I love
them.
Pusha. Nostalgia.
Oh, you was a Pusha T fan.
You know,
I didn't know he had fans like that. Can you name 5 Pusha T records? No, his records. Pusha T, I love your soul, my dog. You're not in my top 50. You might be in Charlemagne's top 50 and things like that, but you haven't done that much for me in my life. Like, I didn't never want to be like Pusha. I never had a Pusha moment in my life. I never thought, like you did, like, where I'm from, niggas want to be like you if you was really that dude and that rapper and things like that.
Wayne wanted to be like Pusha?
Shit.
He was influenced by Pusha?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's why Pusha did the Mr. Me Too record.
Okay, cool. You a very strong Pusha T fan. But what else has he bring to the game? Did he make people want to dress like him? Did he have some slang that everybody was talking like him? There would be the girls, all the girls wanted to do him. Like, what is you did?
The track. Chains and Whips, reportedly made inside Louis Vuitton's HQ in Paris, overlooking the Seine River. Pharrell even told the New York Times, pointing out the exact window. That was made in this room. We just started walking around looking out this window, and you just see all of this. I mean, we beaten the system, bro. While Pusha was out in Paris playing chess with billionaires, Nas was in Queens building a legacy. And while Jim was chasing clout with blog headlines, Nas was unveiling Resorts World Queens, a jaw-dropping 350,000 square foot casino and entertainment complex backed by a $5 billion vision. This ain't some regular celeb partnership. This is Nas putting down roots in infrastructure, equity, and generational wealth for his entire borough. The future isn't something you just wait on. It's something you build. It belongs to the movers, the dreamers, the ones who refuse to sit still. And Resorts World? It's way more than a casino. It's energy, it's hope, it's opportunity. For some, it's a second chance. For many, it's the first step forward. It's a place where community pulls up, not just to win, but to build something real. This ain't just business, it's legacy. And now, it's time to invest in us. Meanwhile, Jim Jones is somewhere bragging about Summer Jam bookings like it's still 2008. Nas didn't need to fire off bars. He dropped receipts, and they hit way harder than any diss track ever could. Fans saw the contrast right away. One comment said it best. Someone else that can't stop yapping is just worried about going viral. Nas out here making boss moves. When you're truly respected, truly rich, and still relevant, you don't need to clap back. You let your life do the talking. And Jim, he ended up getting booed off stage. Let's set the scene. Summer Jam 2024. Jim Jones finally gets the shot he's been chasing all year. But the second he touches the mic, crickets! Then it got even worse. Funkmaster Flex, yes, the same Flex who used to ride hard for Jim, cut his set short right in front of everyone. And you could see it hit Jim in real time. That was supposed to be his big moment. But all that energy he built up around this beef, it didn't land. Because when the spotlight hit, Jim didn't bring hits, he brought drama. And the crowd wasn't feeling it. Still, Jim wasn't ready to bow out. He had one more diss locked and loaded, and this one got personal. After the whole Louis Vuitton ambush, Pusha T didn't say much publicly. But behind the scenes, words started flying. He wasn't done at all. People close to Clipse say their upcoming reunion album is stacked with surgical bars aimed directly at Jim. That Paris debut, that was just the warm-up. The rest, way darker. Insiders are even calling it the Coke Bear moment. Because Pusha's stepping fully into the villain role now. No filters, no hesitation. And if Jim keeps talking, it's gonna be lyrical murder. But it's not just the bars, it's how Pusha's setting it up. He's making his comeback from luxury rooms and elite stages, while Jim's out here rapping in Harlem alleyways over the same exact beat he just got buried on. Yeah, you read that right. Jim tried to flip the chains and whips beat for his own freestyle response. And that might have been the worst move yet. Jim crossed a serious line when he threw shade at No Malice. That wasn't just rap. It was disrespect. No Malice stepped away from the mic to follow his faith and rebuild his life. Taking aim at that? That's not bars, that's out of pocket. Pusha T might play the long game, but when he strikes, it's surgical. And just when you thought Jim might lay low, he did the worst thing he could have done. He publicly dissed Clipse's new single, Ace Trumpets, on camera. Said he doesn't even listen to Clipse and never has. But you could see through the fake calm. That insecurity bled through every word because deep down, he knows they were aiming at him. And they torched him. Now the tide's turned completely. It ain't just Nas and Pusha anymore. The whole culture is shutting Jim out. Blogs are dragging him. Fans who once repped Dipset like family are now begging him to stop talking. This wasn't a beef. It was a wake-up call. Jim Jones stepped into a ring with legends, thinking he had the bars to keep up, and got folded by not charting. He's not even in the room anymore. He's a ghost in his own game. And here's the real kicker. The new Clipse album hasn't even dropped yet. That might be the final nail. If you thought this beef was wild, just wait for what's next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Tell us what you think about this whole situation. Hit that share button and we'll see you in the next video.
And I came into light and started going crazy that these kids love me. They don't really know who Nas is. If he's 22, he's born in 03.
Not all of them. Some of them know. But
You know what I mean?
A lot
Like,
of them know.